Yo, what's up, guys? It's Al here from Vince and Al Podcast, and welcome to another midweek segment number 7. Time is flying, guys. We're just cruising along, breezing along, just having fun here in this podcast channel. Just an awesome opportunity. Typically, what Vince and I like to do here for these midweek segments, we kind of, it's always been a ranting platform, but we typically go with things that have impacted us and things that kind of leave you guys thinking. And I kind of want to take a break from that. I still have a very kind of a thought-provoking topic I want to talk about, and it's sports related. So I'm really excited about it, and I'm going to try to keep it concise, but we'll see how much rambling I'm going to be doing. So obviously by the title you can tell what I'm going to be talking about, and that's LeBron James versus Michael Jordan. Before I start, I'm going to tell you guys straight up here, I am 100% biased. So, if you're angry, if you're a huge MJ fan, just hear me out. This is no disrespect to MJ's game, but this is more of just how great I think LeBron James is. So let's get right into it. Like I said, with it being biased, you guys have heard many of our podcasts and maybe even our midweek segments. Vince and I, and I personally, I'm a huge Cleveland Cavaliers fan, and in general a huge Cleveland fan. I'm a huge Browns fan, Indians fan, Cavs fan. My sport is soccer. I play soccer, but for some odd reason, I follow basketball much more than soccer. I follow football and baseball more than I do than soccer. I'm getting there with the soccer thing, but I've never really played competitive basketball, so I don't understand all the X and O's and all of those kind of things. But I'm still really passionate about the game, and I think it's one of the best sports in the world for many reasons, and it has a lot of intrigue. To fans, not just here in the United States, but all around the world. And as a Cleveland fan, I've seen, I'm young, but I've been able to witness LeBron James coming into the league. I don't really remember him much in the league. I was really young when he came into the league, but I do remember his first stint in Cleveland, and then his decision. I remember that clearly, leaving Miami, and many people hated him, but I always stayed a Cavaliers fan, but I was also a LeBron fan. So when Miami Heat won the NBA Finals, I would root for him. And when he came back to Cleveland, that was one of the best days. I just remember him coming back, and just all the excitement that filled the city of Cleveland, and just in general the state of Ohio. He came back, and he's sorry, I'm stuttering. He's done great things, and I know he will continue to do great things. He's been able to change the culture of the Cavaliers, the culture of the city of Cleveland, and like I said, this whole entire state of Ohio. Before I get onto the accomplishments of Michael Jordan, LeBron James, their abilities on the court, I feel like I have to acknowledge at least what LeBron James has been able to do off the court. And I think that's something we kind of have to take into play, if that makes sense. Something we have to consider when discussing LeBron James and Michael Jordan. And I think we're ignoring, before I go into that, I think we're ignoring one other player, and that's Kobe Bryant. And maybe I'll say that for another topic, but I've gotten to the point where I've been able to get two clear-cut winners, and that's Michael Jordan and LeBron James. And like I said, it's 100% biased. So what LeBron James has been able to do off the court is phenomenal. I think a lot of guys, NBA players, after big wins, they're gonna hit the clubs, they're gonna party, and I won't exactly say there's nothing wrong with that. That's not something I would do personally, but that's how those guys go about things, and I don't think it should be used to judge someone. But anyway, what LeBron James a lot of times does is he goes to the weight room. He works on his game. He works on his strength. Works on his conditioning. He just works on his game. And I believe he's the hardest worker in the league. He's the best player in the league, and he's still yet the hardest worker in the league. Nothing is given. This guy works for what he has. He has natural born talents, but he works hard to display them to the best of his abilities. He's the hardest worker in the game, but he's also been able to do is just expand his brand. LeBron James is known throughout the world not just for his abilities on the court. He's been able to expand his brand and almost advertise his brand. His collaboration with Nike, just himself. He's a businessman. He's in multiple commercials. He's in a couple movies already. He's still in the league. He has hopes and desires to eventually own an NBA team. He partly owns a soccer club, a football club in England, Liverpool FC. He's a businessman. So he's expanded that. He's invested that. He's been very smart with his money, and he's used what he has to the best of his abilities. But I think what's most important thing about LeBron James is what he has been able to do for the city of Cleveland, for the city of Akron, and for, like I've said before, the entire state of Ohio. When LeBron James came back, for me, I was in Cleveland, or in Ohio, by Cleveland and by Akron. I was in between, in that area. He just changed the culture. He changed in this. I'm talking about sports way. After the Cavaliers won the NBA Finals, the Cleveland Indians just came out of nowhere, right? They used that energy, and they made it all the way to the World Series. Yeah, they blew a 3-1 lead, but they made it all the way to the World Series. They weren't even supposed to make the playoffs. That energy transferred over to the Columbus Blue Jackets, who, once again, weren't even supposed to make the playoffs. They lost to the team who won the Stanley Cup, but they had one of the best seasons in NHL history, and that energy just came from LeBron James in general. Cleveland is a huge sports city, and we identify ourselves a lot with sports. If the Cleveland Browns did well, or if the Cavaliers did well that weekend, it kind of sets the tone for our week personally. If the Cavs don't do well, then we don't have a good week. It's a little cliche, and that's not for everyone, but that's a lot of Clevelanders. Sports mean a lot. And in hard times, Cleveland has been hit by hard times. Akron's been hit by hard times, and what LeBron James has done is just restored hope into the city. It's given, and he's put us on a map, and he's advertised them. He's given a sense of pride in the city that it lacked. In Akron, he's investing in the youth. He's giving scholarship money. He's making these kids work hard, and then eventually, his hopes and his desires and his plans are for those kids to, after they graduate, then invest into the city of Akron, and the cycle continues. And just his charitable acts are just phenomenal. I've kind of ranted about how great LeBron James is. Let's give a quick little breakdown, the differences between Michael Jordan and LeBron James. So here I have pulled up a website from Fox Sports News, and it's titled "The Case for Why LeBron James is a Better Basketball Player Than Michael Jordan." Keep in mind, better basketball player is the better basketball player all around. That's how I take it. So yeah, Michael Jordan was better at offense, but I think is, you have to be one of the greatest to play at the offensive end. You have to be one of the greatest to play at the defensive end, and what you be able to do on the court, how you direct your teammates, all those things, I think all have to be taken into account of why you're the greatest player. Accomplishments should also be taken into account, but those are just second things I personally believe. Andrew Lynch, the author of this article, has a couple things, and then he points to who's greater. So at 2-point shooting, he has LeBron James. LeBron James this is what he has. I'm just gonna read them. 3-point shooting, LeBron James. You might think that's crazy, but Michael Jordan was a career 32.7% shooter from deep, whereas LeBron is a 34.2. Still not great percentages, but LeBron James got that. Free throw shooting, Michael Jordan. Overall scoring, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was one of the elite scorers that the league has ever seen. Scoring efficiency, on the other hand, is LeBron James, meaning that Michael Jordan took many more shots than LeBron James, which caused the efficiency to drop, and LeBron James finishes a lot around the rim, which causes his scoring efficiency to go up. Passing, I think, is huge. I think a lot of people ignore that. That goes to LeBron James. LeBron James is one of the most elite, one of the greatest assists, one of the greatest passers, has one of the best visions that this league has ever seen. As a small forward, that's just phenomenal, you know? Rebounding, LeBron James. Defense, LeBron James. Physical attributes, LeBron James. Killer instinct and clutch performance, hands down, is Michael Jordan. Leadership and chemistry, LeBron James. Longevity, yes, is LeBron James. And I think that's LeBron James is getting better every single year. And I think that's just phenomenal. It's just crazy. And he's gonna turn 33, and he just keeps getting better. And it goes partly into all the hard work he has put into himself, into his game, constantly finding methods and modes to preserve himself. Career accomplishments, that goes to Michael Jordan. And here that I like this, because as soon as people have the argument with Michael Jordan, LeBron James, people say Michael Jordan 6-0, 6 rings. How many does LeBron have? 3. LeBron's record 3-5. There are a couple things about this. If we're solely going to base this argument on rings won, right? Then when Michael Jordan said there's something about 5 that's greater than 3, comparing Kobe Bryant and LeBron James, there's argument that includes something about 6 that's greater than 5. So yeah, that argument stays true. But then we look at Bill Russell, who's either won 10 or 11 rings. That argument has to stay true. Michael Jordan, you're not the greatest player to ever play, if that argument stands. Yeah, we have to take that into account. LeBron James has won 3 rings. If LeBron James has 0 rings, I would say Michael Jordan hands down. But LeBron James has 3 rings, and I hopefully continues. But we'll see about that. Even if he ends at 3 rings, I still think that's more than enough for an argument about that. Michael Jordan obviously is 6-0. LeBron's 3-5. LeBron James has led teams to the NBA Finals that Michael Jordan, I personally believe, couldn't. LeBron, at 22 years old, led a team to the 2007 NBA Finals. A team full of, I think, a couple D-League players, or G-League, or whatever they call it now. LeBron James was able to do that. He's able to elevate the players around him. And I think a lot of teams that LeBron James has brought to the NBA Finals aren't as good as Michael Jordan's teams. I think also the level of competition has increased. LeBron James has faced way harder teams. Michael Jordan, in his span, in his 6 games that he played, in his 6 NBA Finals that he played a total of 10 All-Stars. LeBron James, in his 8, he has played a total of 17 All-Stars, and that's going to continue. If he plays the Golden State Warriors again this season, that's going to be another 4. That's 21 All-Stars. That's crazy. People say LeBron James started the super team era. I think that's false. I think it started with the Boston Celtics. When people compare Kevin Durant doing what LeBron James did, I think that's also false. The Golden State Warriors knocked out Kevin Durant out of the NBA playoffs. So Kevin Durant joining the Golden State Warriors, I personally believe, would be the equivalent of LeBron James joining the Boston Celtics, right? To win rings. No, he joined another team. He actually joined a team that didn't even make the playoffs the year before, and he was able to win championships with that team. In order to stop LeBron James, the Golden State Warriors had to assemble the greatest team to ever play, with Stephen Curry, the likes of Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Kevin Durant. Great players, but they had to put them together to at least stop LeBron James. LeBron James has evolutionized this league. He's changed this league, and I think for the best. In my personal opinion, yes, biased, but I hope you heard me out. If you disagree with this, leave your comments down below. I'd love to just hear you guys' side. Also see our sports fans and who are sub to us. And if you're listening to this and you aren't sub, please sub. It just means the world to us. But 100% biased. This is why LeBron James is the greatest player to ever play the game. This is why LeBron James triumphs over Michael Jordan. Not much further ado, that's all I have for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in, listening to midweek segment number 7. Wow. We're getting double digits soon. See you guys next time. Please tune in to our next podcast. I hope you guys enjoy it.